was the best chapter of Fortnite? Today, we got a bunch of the guys from Apollo together to discuss and debate and put all of the chapters into a tier list to try and answer that very question. Let us know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with our takes. What I want to say to start off is when we think like what we're rating a chapter, I think we have to take the average of like all the seasons for the most part, but I think like absolute bangers, like peak of the game, can maybe bring it up a little bit, but like we have to consider the bad too.
Okay.
Chapter 1, any thoughts that anyone wants to throw out? Because I have controversial opinions about this. So
I think chapter 1 is a little bit like, it was like nostalgic, but it was also like pretty plain in the sense like the map was like didn't have too much like on it,
like basic.
and yeah, it was just
Yeah.
basic, like a basic game, but like for the time it was good.
I agree. I think just because the game got so big and it like people have so much nostalgia for how it felt to play the game during that time, they think it's like better than it is. But like low key, I feel like OG coming back and being a permanent game mode, people have now realized like those first couple of seasons especially sucked ass.
Yeah, they were
Mobility,
Yeah.
heals were bad. Like
They were terrible.
I think you could argue that like season 5, they really started to get the formula right, where you're like, oh shit, this is a banger. Like season 5 was when they added the desert biome and like the rifts and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I would put chapter 1 in amazing. I wouldn't put it in peak. Actually, are we all any objections to that?
I think
Yeah, I think I agree to that.
either amazing
Yeah.
or great.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
great
I think
or
amazing.
amazing.
I think amazing's fine
I'm
because the
thinking
nostalgia
great.
carries it.
Could-
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
low key, I was
really?
thinking lower too. Maybe great.
I was thinking
it
maybe
could be
great.
great.
Like, yeah, I feel like
Okay.
great probably fitted the most.
I guess my problem is like weighing the first couple seasons with like how bad they were with how good I think the later part of, like I think like season 7 through 9 and maybe 10. I think 10
that's
is
what made it
overrated,
peak,
but I think
though.
like I
Yeah.
think that's what made it good. And I'm just like, is it good enough to bring it from great to amazing? Chapter 2, season 1 felt like an eternity. It felt like
Oh yeah, this
was
was.
long.
Yeah,
I
this
think
was
chapter 2 is
COVID
peak.
though too. This was
Yeah.
peak COVID.
yeah, that's true. Everyone was playing. I think we played so many hours and they had that season go for like 3 or 4 months or some shit. And like it was just so bland, which like I wouldn't have minded if the season wasn't so long.
Yeah.
After that, Midas season is one of the greats of all time. That was like peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate flood season with a passion.
I do
think
too,
that-
actually.
Yeah.
I
think
think
that-
that's
I-
terrible.
Terrible. I'm
I
not
really,
gonna-
surprisingly, I really love that.
I kind of like the charge though.
No, I hate the charge. It makes no sense.
Dude,
I
okay.
genuinely really love the flood season. That's like a hard
No,
take, I don't
bro.
know.
The skis were goofy. They had
Nah, but
shark
like,
in the
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 water.
shark thing was
Sharks,
You
fire.
couldn't build
It was
anywhere.
fun. It was
fire.
Controller
Yeah, it's
meta.
fun.
You had, oh my god.
Okay,
What was that
hear me
one
out.
POI, the Fortella? It was like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fortella
Yeah,
was
bro.
fire. Okay, hear me out.
All right.
That season, we probably had the most amount of map changes in
Yeah.
any
that's true.
like.
But like flooding the whole map, I don't know if that's like.
Dude, that was fun.
it was part of the
Every
lore. It was part of the
single
lore.
week, a new POI would come up out of the like map, bro, and you're
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
like,
dude,
that
listen.
was
This
fire.
was
I'm riding a
Stark
shark.
season too, bro. That's my favorite season
Stark-
ever.
Stark-
And Midas, those are my top 2 seasons of all time, bro.
That's
I'm
what
putting
made
this
Fortnite
peak.
That's a
history.
fair
With like
opinion.
Mongrel's FNCS
Yeah.
and everything too.
I genuinely think it was peak. Yeah.
I think there were 8 seasons, and I think that 4 of them were really strong. You have Stark, which is one of the best seasons of all time. It's going to be in everyone's like top 5 minimum, probably top 3. You have Midas, which I don't even love the mythic like idea and meta, but Midas was super fun regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Alien and Cube season, which were both really
Those are
peak with
pretty-
late game during that time. I
Yeah.
grinded the fuck out of
Yeah.
late game.
Mm,
I think,
yeah,
but
Oh yeah.
I
beat this
also
late game,
think
bro.
that flood season and primal season
Primal season was
were,
underrated.
I think primal season is one of the worst. It's like top 3 worst seasons that's ever been in the game.
Really?
It was
I
borderline
genuinely
unplayable.
I kinda
hate
like
Primal
that season.
That
It was okay.
season was.
it was
straight.
not.
no, bro. you
Dude,
had those.
who
you had to
just
spend,
said
like,
it was
10 minutes
okay?
off
That was-
spawn.
Me, bro, it was not even that bad. You guys are
Yeah,
No,
it wasn't
bro,
that
good,
bad at
Bro,
all,
it
bro.
was so
Dude, the whole
bad.
mechanical thing and having to get the gears to to have a usable shotgun. That's the dumbest.
But
thing
that was
I've
kind
ever-
of cool. What? I think.
Bro.
Yeah, it was like
No,
it was like
new
it was like a
mechanic,
new
bro.
aspect. It was a new
It added
aspect.
so much to
Exactly.
your early game that was so.
They
I
were
think
just-
the
they were
only
just
thing
testing
terrible
out.
was that shotgun, the spam shotgun.
Yeah, the
whatever it
primal
is.
shotgun.
From shotguns.
Oh,
Oh,
and then
but
the-
you
and then
can't,
the-
you can't forget the bows, bro.
They
Oh,
really
yeah.
were,
Yeah,
man.
the bows.
Another
Bows
shot
took
on
skill
them.
though. The
Big
bows
shit.
took skill though.
All right, what are we thinking for chapter 2?
I think that
Honestly,
the good
peak.
outweighs the bad.
I think
to be
peak.
honest.
Chapter
It's
2 is
definitely
peak. Definitely peak.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Nah, I vote peak for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah,
looking at the
that's
other
a
chapters,
guarantee.
none of them are definitely.
I
Like,
think I only have 2 in peak.
There's only like 2 or 3 bad seasons in that chapter.
All right, chapter 3. I actually think Chapter 3 is overhated. I don't think it was the best to ever touch the game. I think like losing the pump, I think we like didn't love that at first. But I don't think, what was it, the striker? Was that the striker? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the
Yeah.
striker was bad. Like it just felt different and sounded different than the normal pump. And I think everyone was like freaking out about that for a time.
Yeah.
The stinger was one of the worst SMGs that's ever been in the game. That shit was stupid broken.
It was.
The concepts for the seasons, like the map just felt really weird and kind of like off. I don't know how to describe it besides that. And like Chrome season, they didn't even have like the main mechanic that was
I
supposed to be in that
genuinely
season.
hated that season.
You hated Chrome, bro.
Oh,
I
were
think
you
so.
in the
I
blob?
thought it was fun, but like the
Dude,
whole
Chrome
like
season, I
point
think,
of it
was
was
the best
supposed to be like a
competitive season
repeat of
ever.
Sand.
For competitive, it was
Uh,
good, yeah. But like, I, don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't like hiding in a
Dude,
blob. And
Launchpad
then,
meta is so peak for comp, man. It's so good.
But I also didn't think that like any of it, like I thought it was okay, but I didn't think any of it was like great. And I didn't think any of it was like terrible. I
Okay,
think it was
here's
just
the
pretty, like,
question. Here's the question, though. This was the introduction of Zero Build 2, and what I think is the best Zero Build it's ever been. So is that gonna take? Are we gonna take that into account too? We have to.
I mean,
oh.
for half the player base, probably.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say it's.
I'm not gonna lie, I think
This
it's
is below
great.
season. Is this below chapter 1? Yeah. This has got to be
Yeah,
below
100%.
chapter 1.
This was all-time lowest, I think.
Chuck it at great.
No, I
maybe,
think
and
great.
then
I
we'll
think
see.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like player base was. I went great as well.
okay, controversial opinion, maybe. I think Chapter 4 is the best
Yo,
chapter in the entire game.
yeah,
I love it.
that's
That's
why I
definitely
said.
peak. It's
I said there was-
100% peak.
Chapter 4? No, chapter 4.
Yeah, I said there would be
I
two
think
chapters
it's the
in
best
my
in the game.
peak, and
I
it would be with
think
chapter 2.
It
and
would.
chapter 4.
I think every season with like having consistent rotation. You take Hammer and Katana season
Hammer was
already.
That was really good.
Those were top 2 to me. I like
You're saying Hammer was top
Katana
2?
season with the Mythic
Hey,
Havoc.
Hammer was a little bit rougher. I think Katana was what the Hammer always should have been, but I didn't mind the
Oh my
Hammer
gosh.
that much. But having
didn't love the
renewable
Hammer, I mean-
movement like that, having red dot sights was actually like, yeah, it's a little bit annoying to get beamed at times, but I thought Chapter 4, I think Chapter 4 is the best. I still think Chapter 4 is the best.
I put
The
chapter
Mythic
4.
Havoc was like the most
Chapters
fun
were
thing
good too,
ever
though.
in the game.
Mammoth season
Yeah.
with no movement meta was my least favorite season. I think probably ever, honestly.
Dude, the Mammoth is the
No,
best
the
thing that's
Mammoth
ever been in the
was so
game.
good.
It's so
Real.
He
fun.
just didn't
Hey,
play
but then we
comp,
also
bro.
gotta think about like Fizz, bro. Like just like
Fizz.
only Fizz movement and all that shit, like only using Fizz.
Was that
I think that's chapter 5.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
chapter.
that-
I also-
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I also, if we are talking about Zero Build and taking that into account, the Zero Build Trio Cash Cups were during Katana season is some of the most fun I've had on the game in years. That
Yeah,
was
no, Zero
peak
Build
for
was
me.
pretty good at the start. For
Yeah.
Sure.
That's when Victory Cups were a
Um,
thing too, and like everyone
Okay,
was like,
we have to judge it based on where we put like probably 3 and 1. Is this better than 3?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
It's,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's better than Chapter 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I put it in. Peak
I
for
think it's
me.
peak.
I didn't
Personally,
peak.
I think-
it's peak.
Peak?
Dude, there's
Just
gonna
for
only
the
be
Zero Build
one in
aspect.
peak.
I think
There's
it
no
could be-
way. Peak can
I think
only
it
be
could be
one.
a-
It's got to be only one, right?
No, Peak can only have one.
Really?
There's-
Okay.
I
You
think
think?
I can have at least 2.
Okay, but there's multiple peak seasons, I feel like.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Just
yeah.
like how
Okay,
many.
that's true.
Okay.
I think it should go in Peak.
We all agree with that? Under
Yeah,
Chapter
yeah.
2? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I can go with that.
Amazing low peak.
Yo,
I don't.
Noct-
Okay, I'll say this. I think the highs of Chapter 2 are better than the highs of Chapter 4. But I think when you talk about the average strength of a season overall, I would say that Chapter 4 is better because Chapter 2 had some really weak seasons as well. But
It's
like
definitely
Stark-
it's definitely
still
a
up
quality
there.
over quantity thing. Chapter 2 is way longer than Chapter 4,
Yeah, yeah,
only a year
for
later.
sure.
So.
Chapter 5. I can't even say I remember most of the seasons.
Bro, I'd
from
say
this
chapter 5 was.
I think it was
amazing.
mid.
Was
I
Mega
think it was
City?
really good.
No,
Mega City
that's
was
chapter
chapter
4.
4.
Oh, chapter 4.
Oh yeah, no, you're Mythic
But I think chapter 5
This was
mid.
this was Peter
Like-
Pump, right?
Oh, Chapter 5. Okay, wait.
I don't think
Chapter
it's
5
mid.
season 3 is car season.
Shit is
Which is
so
so
mid,
ass.
man.
I think it was
This is
one
so
bad
mid.
season.
I think
bad
Nitro,
Yeah, this
season.
isn't-
Nitro
this isn't
was
that
probably
good.
the
First
worst.
season was the best season.
Wait,
Car
we're
season was
friends?
probably the worst season that the game has ever had.
Yeah,
this
I
was
would-
season
I would have
four,
that.
right? This is Peter Pump and Lavish,
Mhm,
right?
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie to
That's
you.
season
This
one.
season, I went
Yeah,
from
this
playing-
is
I'd say it's
coin
great.
meta.
I
Like they
loved
went from
this
like
season.
having like the
This is
grapple
like,
playing into like Fizz.
yeah. This
Yeah,
is like
I
the
think,
Mongrel
the
and
first
Savage
couple.
to
Okay.
NA.
Oh yeah, we also had projectile for all of this chapter, right? Instead
What
of
do you mean?
Hitscan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
Yeah, no
Hitman.
hit scan the whole chapter.
Yeah, that was a little rough for me.
and then
Like,
the movement changed too off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah. The
No,
movement.
the movement.
animations,
Oh
that's
my
just so
god,
bad.
bro.
I don't know,
I
bro. I
remember
look
like that- like that first season- the first season was,
so good. Yeah.
First season was Reaper Sniper. That shit was fun.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
that
though.
was great.
the first
That's
season was the
fun.
best.
So good. Yeah,
First
yeah,
season
was the
one was
best.
the best.
Yeah,
definitely.
Nitro was the worst season they've ever added. For
Oh, yeah, I think
that was-
Nitro-
yeah,
Dude, this
I think
season
Nitro
was
was a
terrible,
cool-
bro. There's only one good season this chapter in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take.
what do we
I'd
think?
say
What-
two.
what
I'd
is
say
it?
two. I said great.
There are two good.
I don't
think
think it's better. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
it's better.
I
Gate
think
season
great, honestly.
carries.
I think it's
Grim Gate
equally
season was good.
equal to chapter
Okay,
3.
but Grim Gate Shotgun was the most OP shotgun that's ever been dropped.
Yeah,
before.
that shit sucked. Yeah, that shit.
the
Especially when you
dash
had
coin was
the
so
extended
OP.
mag, like whatever
Dude,
that
oh,
was.
yeah.
In the vaults.
Yeah.
The dash coin was just so broken.
Oh my, yeah, dude.
Oh,
Pete
man.
won based off that. Like, no disrespect to Pete, but he won based off those coins. Like they were
Would have won without
broken.
it though.
All right, okay. Just off of the one season that we've had so far, theoretically, there's not a picture for it, but where would we put chapter 6?
Currently, I'd put it in
far.
amazing.
I think
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I put it
it's
in
really
amazing.
good. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
I think.
Actually,
See,
Yeah.
okay.
So far, I've enjoyed it.
Okay, but
Like,
there's no
that's
typing though.
Think about all the things that are good about chapter 6. I feel like they took it from chapter 4. I feel like they took inspiration from chapter 4. I feel like that's why it's good. Like we got red dot sights back. We got
We got his
movement.
game back.
Katana.
yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. That's some food for
They're
thought.
copying themselves, so it's not that bad.
I think
But
this
yeah,
season.
bro, I don't know. I think it's going.
I think the
well.
rotation
I
and
think they're
everything
going
is
amazing.
fun.
I think that this
Shotguns
season.
like aren't that bad.
Shotguns are good.
ARs aren't
Yeah.
bad. Like it has a
Yeah.
good like you know.
Like
like,
everything's
guns and all that.
balanced too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like
Yeah.
I mean, this season is the most amount of fun I've had. Like, in my opinion, this is the best competitive season. This is the best season.
No,
It's the
I
most
agree.
fun
This is
season.
top.
Yeah, I do
100%.
agree. Yeah, I do agree with that.
I put
Let
it
us know if you
amazing.
agree in the comments down below. Let us know if you want to see any more tier lists or discussions like this, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.